2002, interesting year, man. 99 NFC Championship game. 2000, go to the playoffs, lose at Philly. 2001, my best year, obviously professionally, go to Philly, lose playoffs. Our inability to get past that hurdle is what got Tony Dungy fired. And I don't think anybody expected that because we were such a successful team, but we couldn't get over that last hurdle, which was the Eagles.
They owned us pretty good, and I laugh. It wasn't really fun. It wasn't funny.
It was absolute torture because we knew we could play good enough defense to get the win, but we couldn't play dominant defense to shut it down all the way because Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb and the weapons they had, they were going to devise a way to chip and bang at us in certain ways.
One of the greatest head coaches in the history of our league lost his job because we couldn't beat Philly. I take that personally. We took that personally.
And we want to introduce John Gruden, our new head coach. So I'd like to say thank you very much. I woke up this morning, I had no idea how I got here, but I would like to thank Mr. Glazier and obviously Brian and Joel Glazier.
So we bring in John Gruden, and the dynamic changed. Very first team meeting, first words out of his mouth were, "We are winning a Super Bowl this year." There was no other option. We're too good of a football team not to.
The Buccaneers rush out of the gate, really good start to the season. Then they have to go to Philadelphia again, and they lose that game 20-10. And that's one of only 4 games the Buccaneers lost that entire season.
We played Philly at Philly, and we lost. And I remember Derek Brooks right off the field. I think y'all have video of it, and him yelling,
"We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll see you soon.
We'll be back." You know, he's just, being prophetic. And who knows if he was just making it up, if he was just, finding a way to deal with the loss.
It was fitting, the way that their season was going, our season was going, that we was going to meet them on the road in that stadium, and couldn't ask for a better strip.
It's here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, 26 degrees.
It was a house of horrors for us, but it wasn't one that we didn't feel that we can overcome.
I did not like them a lot then, and it was because they had our number.
We got to go back to Philly, man, and look at all those fans who, I don't want to say hate life. They love life, but they make you feel like they hate it, and they definitely hate you.
I was back home because Rondé said the crowd at Veterans Stadium would be so crazy that he's like, absolutely not. You can't come to the NFC Championship Game. I was also pregnant with Justice at the time.
Well, there was a lot of negative comments about Philly fans, and Rondé had asked me not to come to that game. Actually, he told me, "I don't want you at that game. I don't want you at the game. Stay in Roanoke."
I remember diving in. Study was hyper-focused. Preparation was hyper-focused. Physically, I was f***ed up.
He tore his PCL in the back of his right knee. He had a plate and 9 screws in his thumb. Just the will. He was gonna will himself to not let any of those injuries slow him down.
There's just something about these old joints that it's hard to duplicate, and these fans are packed in here, ready to say goodbye to Veterans Stadium, where they've been playing football since 1971.
I think it's all the cats and rats.
It couldn't be more perfect that we had to face the team that we couldn't beat to get to the Super Bowl.
Mitchell. Down to the 25.
Well, I remember they came out and we had to fight against, here we go again, because they took the opening kickoff back about 80 yards and scored a touchdown before we knew it. It was a little bit of that. I think they felt like, okay, we got these guys' numbers.
And I think maybe John had that in his mind the night before the game when he gave a speech to the team. There's a good chance that something's going to go wrong early in this game. In fact, it probably will. And when that happens, you have to understand that it's not over.
Deuce Staley. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
I'm like, we just got to get some points. If we get points, there's no way they can score with us because They're not built that way. We were giving them the ball, short fields and, fruit plays and silly shit, broken assignments and different things like that. But it wasn't one that we felt like they were just this badass team that we couldn't beat. That nobody was like that to us. Nobody.
Physically, I was bad. I was not good. But mentally, I was as sharp as I've ever been.
Tell you what, this is exactly what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't want to have happen. That monkey on their back just gained about 100 pounds.
I could sense just the way he was moving that McNabb was going to test him.
Man, defensive back of the year before. Led the league in interceptions. I didn't know this till after I watched the broadcast.
Well, and one of the matchups that the Eagles were hoping to get was Ronde Barber in a one-on-one situation, knowing that they don't get that very often.
And apparently, the Philly coaches said Ronde Barber is their weakness on defense. I did not know that. Didn't know it was a weakness on defense.
They think their wide receivers against man coverage down the field can beat these Tampa corners.
Yeah, they're just not very good when they're in one-on-one coverage, as you see right there.
The whole game, Troy is expounding on how the Eagles are gonna take advantage of me. All game.
Because these corners, both Ronde Barber and Brian Kelly, are not accustomed to having to cover receivers, first of all, one-on-one that often, and then more importantly, further down the field. You saw once they got...
So Brian Kelly led the league in interceptions, didn't go to the Pro Bowl, but 3 defensive backs for the Eagles did. Brian Dawkins, Hall of Famer, to both corners, Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent going to Pro Bowl. So I'm pissed. Brian Kelly's pissed. We're all pissed.
McNabb dumps it, looking for Westbrook, and that was Ronde Barber.
Early in the game, I have a pass breakup. Seamless.
Dumped off to Westbrook. Brought down shy of a first down.
There's a screen. It should be on a teaching tape for every player on how to beat that screen.
Blitz coming off the corner, and it was Barber who got there, gunned over the middle and knocked down by Barber.
Rondé stood up and answered every question to the test.
Ronde Barber has just been all over the middle of the field.
There wasn't a play that I didn't make. I think I recorded a stat in every single defensive category.
Final game at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the Buccaneers hold a 7-point lead. That's Tiki Barber. Had a tremendous year this year with the Giants. Was unsure as to whether he was going to come down here because he's not too well liked in these parts by the Eagle fans. Watching his twin brother Rondé work off the corner for Tampa Bay.
When I get interactions with Philly fans, they always start to say, "Oh man, I hated you." And I always say, you didn't really hate me. You respected me. But you know who you hate? Ronde Barber.
And the fact that Philadelphia's offense is struggling against Tampa's defense, well, maybe that's not shocking because this is the best defense in football. But the fact that Tampa's offense has been running up and down the field against a tremendous Philadelphia defense, that is startling.
Offense played well that game. Joe Jervis just had a great game. Mike Allstott had a really good game. Michael Pittman ran the ball well that game. But yet, you're not quite comfortably beating a team.
Watching Rondé, watching my son, he was in Donovan's head. You know, it's like he's mind reading. You know, there's something clicking there.
They were a really good football team because of Donovan McNabb. And we all know Donovan, man. We played against him so many times, man. We knew he finds ways.
Well, I knew all game that Rondé was going to get him. And I kept telling him that at some point, you're going to get him.
Brooks was calling, Ronde, I know you got 6 in you. I mean, he was telling us the whole second half. I said, man, can you please stop with that? Because he's going to jump a route, and then I'm going to have to be responsible for the punt. Don't worry about it, Dad. We'll be all right. I said, okay, here we go.
You could just see the plays that Rondé was making. It was going to happen. We just didn't know when, where, and how. He seemed to be on it in the right place at the right time, and he was making plays.
Fourth quarter and a trip to the Super Bowl at stake.
Donovan and them were getting hot, and Philly was coming storming back. They were moving the football. You felt momentum, you felt their crowd, and we needed to make a play.
McNabb sets up and fires. Hickston dragged down from behind as he crossed the 40. On second down, he finds Lewis, who has a first down.
That's a great job by Donovan McNabb. Just slide to his left, just enough to give him some room.
We talk about it so much, though, those big guys at the end of a football game, they're just tired, and then you put them in no huddle.
I think what you're seeing is a team in Philadelphia that realizes the urgency.
Second down and 7. McNabb somehow gets out of the grasp of Seth, gets rid of it, and finds his man. Antonio Freeman with a first down.
He's just finding ways to make plays, and this is drive what's going to bring them within one score.
I remember looking over there. I said, man, you want to get us out of this? And he looks at me with that look on his face like, oh, now I can jump a route. Yeah, you can jump a route now. Please get us out of this.
I just remember that play like it was yesterday. You know, Rondé faking the blitz.
Hurry up defense means one thing to Monty Kiffin. You're going to play cover 2, so you don't give up the big play and make it easy on them, or you're going to blitz. Because that's, when Monty gets pissed, he blitz.
The thing that set it up was he faked the blitz, because we blitzed him a lot. And he faked the blitz and came out of the blitz. So he comes out.
First down, goal from the 10. Come on, Bucs. 3:27 to go.
You should have known it wasn't a blitz, because when we blitzed, I always traveled with John Lynch.
All of a sudden, I'm on the side I thought I was supposed to be on, and Rondé lines up on the other side. He's bluffing a blitz, but it didn't make sense. I mean, he was right behind a D lineman, and I think Donovan was probably moving fast.
And hurry up. Sometimes miss the details, and Donovan missed the detail on that play.
And I saw him. He glanced to the backfield, and then he glanced to his left and right, and then it's like he was looking eye to eye to Donovan. It was like he zoned in on him, and I said, he's going to pick it.
First down, goal from the 10. Come on, Bucs. 3:27 to go. McNabb dropping. It's intercepted at the 10, to the 20. He's gone. Going coast to coast. Ronde Barber to the 50, to the 40. Barber to the 30. Nobody's going to touch him. Ronde Barber, 10-5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
He said he looked at every player and every coach's faces on the sideline of the Philly side. It was like dead silence in the stadium.
Right, there's no such thing as making a play. It's preparation meeting opportunity. That's when plays happen. That's what makes it special to me, is that it was just a moment, and I captured that moment.
Every time I watch it, it makes me cry. I just know like how big of a moment it was for him.
Rondé's play, the pick 6 at Philly, favorite play of mine as a teammate, as a fan.
Easily. Never get tired of watching that thing. Never get tired of watching him point to his name.
And then to end it like that, the game over. It's the biggest play in Tampa Bay history.
I've seen some great defensive efforts in championship-type football games before, but I haven't seen anybody play better than Rondé Barber has today.
Maybe I was just giving a big f*** you to Philly and Troy Aikman for thinking that I was going to be the weak link in that game. Maybe I heard it through the field or something.
And he has been a nightmare all day long for Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles.
That doubt that showed up in the broadcast was definitely vindicated by me when I scored.
That's my son. He worked hard, he worked doubly hard to do what he felt that he could do and to prove the doubters wrong. So he earned it.
The twins, Tiki and Ronde Barber, celebrating on the sideline, and Rondé is such a big part of this win in Philadelphia.
The last game ever to be played in the vet, and the last touchdown scored was by Barber, and he made sure you knew. It was awesome. I mean, hell, it's my favorite moment of both of our careers.
A 95 Interception return. Bucs lead 26-10. Ronde Barber, you need to go to the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl my ass, baby. I'm going to San Diego, man. Come on, I'm going to San Diego.
That's what he said. The Pro Bowl. We going to San Diego for the World Championship. So
That's right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to San Diego for Super Bowl 37.
Did I think that would last the test of time? I have no idea. I sometimes think back, how did that even happen? What made me decide to fake that blitz? So he thought it was a pressure. He was gonna throw a hot route that would hit me right in the hands. I have no idea.